most people take as just an understanding that because this has been repeated ad nauseum throughout the Western media, is that this was a naked aggression by Russia, that it was just land grab, that Putin wants to recreate the Soviet Union. I've lost count of the times I've heard that, but there's always some version of those. And of course, the reason we do this is because Americans in particular, but most people seem to like things nice and clean. We want a good guy and we want a bad guy. We like evil, or we like to know where evil is, and we like to know where the good guys are. And of course, the bad guys are all evil and the good guys are all good. So that makes it nice and clean and easy to just say, yep, Russia's the bad guy and Ukraine's the good guy. So we're going to get behind the good guy and we're going to work against the bad guy, because that makes it easy. When you get into reality, though, and you see that things are a lot more messy in real life, that there are no clear-cut lines. Let me just make sure everybody's point blank very clear on this point. There are no clean-cut good guys and bad guys. You have guys with one perspective, you have another side with another perspective. You can find all kinds of things that are bad and villainous about Russia. There is no doubt about it. This is, make sure everybody's also clear, this is no defense of Russia. This is no defense of Putin at all. This is an honest evaluation of what actually is going on the ground, because you can also find things that are bad about the Ukraine side, about some of the things that they have done in combat, about some of the decisions their leaders have made, and the impact and consequence it has for us. And this is also not to demonize Zelensky. As I've said many times on this show, there's many things about him which I admire greatly. And I have a great empathy for the extraordinary amount of pressure and stress that's on him on an hourly basis, because he's got the lives of millions of his countrymen that live and die based on his words. And that's got to be pressure that's really hard to fathom for us. But what the most important thing that we want to get here is that from the American perspective, and from our decisions about whether we want to continue to support war or whether different policies might be necessary, in order to come to that conclusion and to answer that question accurately for ourselves, we have to know what's really going on. And how this war started is very, very illustrative of the, I'm not sure I'll call it outright deception, but certainly the disinformation that's putting out by some of us on the Western side to justify what we're doing that is not entirely accurate.